Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. We are now going to spectate the first game of the finals in the European Challenger Cup Week 1. We've got the Forsaken versus the Papis. Joining me today is Pip. I am Merle. And Pip, how are you doing?
I'm doing just great, Merle. It's been a really fun first day of the first week of the Challenger Cup. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you have too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we have here going on.
Looks like picks and bans will be getting underway right about now.
Yeah, we've seen both of these teams play today already. So we've got the former Myrmidons versus the Papis, the hometown Challenger Cup heroes, shall we say? So
we see a Chronos ban right off the bat, which I'm not surprised by.
Oh, definitely not. Raijin is well being taken care of. So just knocking out the mid laner strats. Nobody wants to deal with either of them, I guess.
That's
Janus as well. Once again, getting rid of headache mid laners.
I think production screwed up.
No?
It's an Alquang ban in the on the order side.
Oh, so
coming through. Yeah. And a Kepri coming out. Don't want to deal with the Resurrects. Don't want to deal with Executes or Resurrects. I kind of like that.
Yeah. Respectable. I mean, Thanatos definitely still an option, but not really a flavor pick at all for anyone.
Absolutely.
At the moment, anyways.
Absolutely. Ho Yi being very highly valued.
Yeah. Once again, always one of the more popular of the picks. And Guan Yu as well. Definitely. I mean, we've seen this before. Last game and the game before as well. People really value the Hui as well as the heals. Oh, there's the Janus.
There's the Janus. That's what was going on. Knew there'd be a Janus in there somewhere. Janus, of course, has global pressure, able to get his teammates pretty much halfway across the map on the Conquest map at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, Odin response into what I can assume to be Mogao's Guan Yu, guaranteed anti-heal, just trying to shut him down as much as possible. Agni, once again, locked in for Warchi, so definitely looking for safety and aggression.
Oh, hey,
Jing
fam.
picked up. Oh, hey. Once again, always a pleasure. Seeing Jing definitely brings a lot to the table. One of my
most definitely
favorite new gods to come to smite. Thank you, Francis.
Hunbat's coming out as a good band coming out there. Fear No Evil, of course, is very disruptive.
Yeah, helping deny that. Wheelish.
Wheelish. What? Okay.
Well,
right.
with Jing you do have guaranteed knockups, and it's very easy to set up, especially with Janus as well.
That's true. That's very true.
Just getting rid of that definitely seems to be playing a big part. Naja as well, just getting rid of those team removals, and in Ares as the last pick, getting rid of them.
Huh. Ares, eh? Europe loves Ares a lot. We see a Geb pick coming in. Geb Jingwei is going to be a pretty safe lane. That knockup is going to be kind of helpful.
Yep. Can't run a strategy with Wheelish, unfortunately. As cool as that would be, but able to dish out a little bit more. Still have double knockups, one of the strongest CCs in the game. The Geb shields as well.
Oh, looks like that was actually a Fenrir on that side and a Geb on the other side. That makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Counter knockups with knockups.
Yep.
Definitely give a little bit more support.
Be disruptive. Be completely and totally disruptive. And a Nemesis. There's your flavor of the month.
Oh, boy. My favorite. So, once again, you have a jungle Nemesis. We saw it several times, pretty much throughout the entirety of this. And a Cabrakan.
So, if you told me that Cabrakan was going to be part of it, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah. Recent buffs, the fact that Shadow Zone now applies to himself, so he's always taking 5% less damage. If you really wanted, you could go super aggressive start, go for a Mark of the Vanguard. Basically, shrug off a majority of the damage that would be dealt to you early as you just try and fight into everybody. Maximize Refraction Shield. Definitely a strategy I don't think I'd actually recommend it in practice, though, especially when you're in the finals. But still, a very safe pick. Good disruption with Tremors, as well as the stuns from Refraction Shield.
Absolutely. It looks like the game is ready to go, so I think that we are going to see us getting into game momentarily. Yeah, there it is. We see Dalo already jumping around, having the time of his life over here. So without further ado, this is the finals. Game 1 of the finals of Week 1 of the European Challenger Cup. Brought to you by Tier Monster, sponsored by hi-rez Studios, Owlhead Studio, and Discord. We have the Papis versus Forsaken. Papis are on the left-hand side of your spectator UI, bottom side of your minimap. It is Enemer taking the Odin into the solo lane. Dalo piloting that Nemesis jungle that we like so much. Warchi running back the Agni mid. And then David Arnez and Perella on Hoyi Geb.
Yep. And for Forsaken, coming out of the top of your minimap on the right side of your UI, you have Mogao on Guan solo, Fly to Safety running a Fenrir jungle, Tins on Janus, Dardes and Germain in the duo lane as Jing and Cabrakan.
And we've got a lot to talk about in this game because we've got a lot of guys that we haven't seen yet. Jing has this awesome passive. Whenever she walks out of a fountain, she flies. It's going to let her back for free almost.
Yeah, back when she was first released on the PTS, I actually measured the area that she could reach, and it is in between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers, right at the opening to the jungle. On the bottom side of the map, you see there, basically in an arch to the Tier 2 and then back to the other opening on the other side. Between the duo and solo lane. So it's a very large radius. Jermaine getting knocked way the far back by David Arnaiz with the rollout, but Darda is able to deal out damage in spades, leaving both supports at about half HP.
Warchi was able to get the better of the Janus in the mid play, able to reduce him down to about half HP, but Janus was able to take a couple potions, heal that back up, and is now looking pretty okay over there. We do see Enemer rotating into the mid to try to help secure these mid camps with Dalo. They do get one of the Harpies, but the other one did look like it went to Fly to Safety with the leap.
Yeah, he was able to steal one away. Ward 2 dealing a lot of poke damage out, got the passive proc off on the Flame Wave, taking him very low, but still kind of forced out there. Unable to rejoin the lane by Tins. So.
Speaking of forced out, Ho Yi pushed back to the tower over there by a Jing Wei. Is that what you would expect with the Jing Wei Cabrakan?
With the Cabrakan, yeah. Jing Wei, it depends on the matchup. She has both she and Hu Yi actually have some of the lower attack speed scaling in the game. So it's definitely not like, you know, Hu Yi Apollo, where Apollo has a clear early game advantage or anything like that.
Right.
But I guess with the extra pressure of Cabrakan being able to provide that bonus damage reduction, they're going a lot more aggressive. They're not really afraid of what can happen.
That makes sense. And Cabrakan, of course, has a little bit of appeal himself with the Tremors once he gets them to be able to offset and at least disrupt any kind of gank attempt onto his ADC. Over on the right lane, we just have, you know, pretty basic, you know, solo lane things where they're just going to trade out. Guan Yu is probably going to have the better of this in terms of the long game. Odin's going to do a lot more damage, although that's going to prevent any healing. A little bit of a misplay from Mogao using the heal in the Guan or inside of the Odin ring. However,
one of the big problems though is Enemir taking a lot of poke from the minions, but Mogao does as well, so it's 1-for-1. Trade, minions doing most of the heavy lifting there. Archers hurt early, but First Blood going to Forsaken. It's Mogao.
And that, of course, is going to bump him up about 10 gold. Should we talk about the 10 gold? No, we should not. We should keep going right along. It could be more, except that Inamer was able to do that rotation over to the mid lane and get the early experience or early gold earlier.
Yep.
The fire elementals are going to be taken by Inamer. It's going to actually extend him up to 100 gold lead.
No, a little over 100 gold lead for him. Pretty much the same experience-wise. We'll go a little bit behind, so Inamer will hit level 7 off of this wave. Outside of that, nothing much is happening over there in Solo Island. Just
in the
going for the blue buff.
In the meantime, Dardez and Jermaine are like, these are our boars now. And there was nothing that Perella and David Arnez could do about that. They were forced to sit there and watch as the boars do fall to Jing and Cabrakan.
Yeah, level 6 for both of them on the side of Forsaken now.
It's a solid level advantage there.
See this game. Mark of the Golden Crow. More for pressure than anything, but they just disengage, look for their own boars, bringing home the bacon, as they say.
Absolutely right. We do see a 3-man grouping once again. Inamer rotating over to get those right mid camps once again. 3-way split, slightly less efficient, but it going towards the solo isn't necessarily a bad thing. It lets him continue his gold lead. He's now up to 200 above Mogao.
Yep. Inamer looking to solo the blue, leading it out of the pit.
We do have a pause coming out from Fly to Safety. So we will be back with that very shortly. Looks like Agni hasn't backed yet, first and foremost, which is kind of on the interesting side of things. He's still sitting there with just the Soulstone beads. By now, his purple pot would have almost completely worn out. Yeah, it's worn off by now. So I'm looking for him to back shortly. He's probably got a good bit of gold in hand right now.
He is currently sitting at 1,698 gold in hand, just under Nemesis, sitting with 2,000.
So a lot of people
Nemesis
in blue.
Also yet to back.
A lot of the members of blue, a lot of the members of the Papis are sitting there with a lot of gold in their hands, and I'm expecting them to probably take some stuff out of their jungle and then back safely, fueling up and getting ready to go again. All right, this pause is going a little bit longer than we expected here. Odin has already, or Guan has already started the silver breastplate over here, so he's got the 20 physical protections that Odin does not. Odin, of course, has finished his boots. They're all about the same timer in terms of teleport, but I don't know, that 20 physical protections might actually make the difference. If they were present in that last fight where they both died, that might have actually been the difference between one of them dying and the other one living.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things was that in that last fight, they both underestimated the damage of the archers, which now that they've leveled up a little bit, they're both 8 and 7 respectively. Inamer setting at level 8 on the Odin. Definitely gives them a little bit more leeway when it comes to fighting into a minion wave. Although those bonus 20 protections definitely going to favor more heavily into Mogao's favor.
Yes. And when you're dealing with a 1v1 lane opponent, being a physical bursty warrior such as Odin, any protections is good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I'm getting word we're going to go ahead and throw over to a different screen. We will be back as soon as this game comes off of pause. Give us just a second. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We are back now. Back in the game, and we are going to be having that on screen for you very shortly. The pause came out, and here we go. Yes. Whew. Sorry about that. Extended pauses do happen from time to time. So good to see us back in the game, though. Ready to go. So we're seeing the grouping in mid from Warchi after they took their red buff, and they're able to get that cleaned up pretty easily. And they're looking to do... Oh, no, now they're going back to the red buff. They didn't finish it out earlier. I guess the pause threw them for a loop, and now they will get it and have a chance to come back, clear up the mid lane, and probably go back after that. We're seeing over here on the left-hand side that Perilla and Jermaine are kind of fighting each other. The Nine Suns come out, but the dash out of Jermaine is going to be enough to avoid all of the damage coming out. We have Perilla putting the Mark of the Iron Crow over here. We have Cabrakan hovering around on the right-hand side of this lane, not wanting to let him aggress too much onto Jermaine, being a very protective guardian entirely. Grouping coming out over here on the Gold Fury. Sentry Ward coming out there, putting down some vision on a critical area in this early game. We see them aggressing on Dardez. Dardez is going to fall here, able to get his ultimate off, which traps the enemy team. The Papis on the reversal, not able to get away there, but flight of safety able to get away just fine. Jermaine going very low. Warchi able to get the kill there, but he will fall, or I'm sorry, Dalo will fall to flight of safety there. And it seems like I have lost Merle, so if you'll give us just a second, we're going to throw back and try to find him. You there? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so you're there? Whew. Alright, so we'll go back in. Alright. Alright. There we go. We are back.
A little bit of a technical issue there.
Just a slight one, yeah. But we did it. We're back. We're fine. Everything is good, and we are good.
Yep. Nothing particularly exciting coming out of the game right now. Just finding what buffs and farm that they can. Once again, always a little bit of a slap fight coming out between Jermaine and Perilla. Nothing too much comes of it. Both of them walk away with a little bit of their HP bars missing. Nothing too crazy. 4-man clear for Forsaken onto that speed buff. Now going to clear up that blue buff as well. That's life safety Mogao. Is Dalo cleaning up the wave, dodging a stun.
It was a beautiful dodge coming out of Dalo there to get away from the stun there. If he had gotten pinned, it's entirely likely that the Guan Yu follow-up would have been enough to cause him to die.
Yep. Right at the mid lane here, we have Bracknell coming out, followed by Tremors. David is able to escape for now, but going to be caught by the Fenrir. Unfortunately, pass. As a result, Dalo coming in. Gets an ult off on flight of safety, not able to find anything. Inimer's jump, a little bit misplaced. Disengage coming from both teams at the moment. Nothing
just
really
slightly off the mark, yeah. Good engagement coming out. David Arnaz was kind of dead to rights once the Fenrir was able to jump in and get the stun, and then the Ragnarok off. So good for the rest of the team not to get bloodthirsty and try to make something out of nothing, but still keep the pressure up to make it so that they couldn't steamroll down the mid lane there.
Slap fight breaking out in the solo lane once again. Inimir still with a slight level advantage on Mogao, but nothing too super serious or
slight level advantage, and the finished Breastplate of Valor versus the Silver Mail. So able to get that 25 or 20%, 20% CDR along with the 80 physical protections.
Ult coming out from Dardes onto Perilla. Perilla going to fall to the Tremors, dealing as much damage as he can with 9 Suns, but not able to find anything with it. Even with the shield coming out, David unfortunately not able to save his lane partner.
And sometimes that happens when you're in that duo lane. The support can't always be there to bail you out. There is a limit to what a Geb especially can do to save the hunter. You see a 3-man grouping in the mid off of that engagement. Looking to rotate over and maybe look at these mid camps that aren't even up yet because they don't have the timers on them. They're just kind of suspicious, trying to get as much farm as they possibly can off of anywhere on the map.
One of the interesting things to note here, just looking at the builds, is that we've seen a little bit of a reversal coming out. If you look at Nemesis, she's gone for the Jotun's Wrath, while on the other hand, you have the Fenrir going for the Spike Shield. So, little bit of an interesting switch. Dalo definitely valuing the ability to steal protections more often than the ability to just have them reduced. While the Papis look to start up a Gold Fury teleport coming down for Animer.
Cavalry charge is very good out of Mogo.
Yeah.
Lots used there. Through space and time does drop and able to force the disengage there. Airstrike comes in. Jermaine able to pick up Warchi over there. Perilla, however, getting the return kill onto Flight of Safety. And that's going to be a 1-for-1 disengage. But the Papis had to drop the Gold Fury. And it cost Forsaken all 5 of their ults, while Warchi, who is dead, and Perilla still have theirs. 9 Suns are still available if Perilla wants to try to crash them down in that. Looks like his
doesn't
first
look like
thing
he'll
is
be able to get close enough. Dalo trying to get in. Unfortunately, a little bit too late. Able to heal up with Retribution, but still taking a lot of poke damage. Unfortunately, going to fall down to Jermaine.
And Dalo will go down there. As you said, the Gold Fury also went down to the boys in red, bringing them up to a 1,500 gold lead here at the 12-minute mark. 4 to 6 read the kills as well. And Animer in the mid lane. What? Where were you that fight, buddy? We needed you.
Yeah. Last fight, he landed very nice cage, helped disengage, but unfortunately was a little bit too low. So I think he was just trying to clear up the wave there, help ensure that his tower survived. But unfortunate positioning on their part.
Absolutely. We do see the Jing kind of backing there. Wow. I thought that she would push that minion wave all the way into the tower. Instead, she'll use her passive to get a free back there.
Meanwhile, in the solo lane, Inimer aggressed on by Flight of Safety and Mogao, not able to find anything. Take him to half HP, though. Jumps over the wall to secure his blue, so he's still sitting relatively
happy
pretty.
solo lane warrior stuff. They go down to half HP. They don't notice anything else. Pressure constantly coming out on the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, if we just take a moment to look at the graphs, game's been pretty even so far. However, with that Gold Fury fight, Forsaken now sitting in a small advantage, 3,300 experience, 1,800 gold in the lead. Hopefully, they'll be looking to expand that further, get the stuff after the stuff, find a few picks, get a few kills, kill a few towers, do what they can. Otherwise, this game could last virtually forever. We'll never know. Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, we will know.
We will know
in time.
In time. We could see if this could come even close. We got a big rotation going over to the left-hand side of the map, but through space and time kind of, lets people know when that's going to happen. However, over here on the right-hand side of the map, Mogao is going to fall to the Odin cage and the protection shred of Dalo. Going to fall out while the 4 members of Red were over on the left.
Yep, Tier 1 tower going to fall in the duo lane. One of the more important towers helps force your ADC back on the team that loses the tower, but also gives the enemy ADC, the one who took it, the ability to freely rotate to mid, help pressure elsewhere. So definitely a good pickup for your first tower. Mid slightly more valuable, if only because it allows jungler and mid free rotations.
Right. being able to free up the mid and the jungler makes it so that you're a little bit more flexible as a team. However, having that hunter available in the mid game and in the middle part of the map is not to be understated, especially if it's a hunter like Jing who can make it very close to that tier 1 tower with her passive.
Yeah. Jing really one of the good hunters when it comes to taking a small lead and expanding it. In the meantime, Darda is going aggressive, ulting away onto Dalo, taking Dalo's ult in response, but Fenrir fly to safe killing him. In the meantime, Warchi cleaned up as well, Mogao coming in, Jermaine picking up the double Perilla, and Inamur first to retreat.
Airstrike does come out,
forcing out the airstrike as well. Unable to find anything beyond that though, so relatively safe disengage. But a 3-for-0 trade definitely in favor of Forsaken. Here they're going to be looking to aggress onto the lanes here.
3-for-0 trade, and Mogao is not content with that. He wants to make it 4, maybe even a full Dia side, but he's going to have to settle with getting the back camps in the mid tier 1 tower. And now, based on the logic that you say earlier, we've got an ADC, a support, a jungler, and a mid who can free roam.
Yep, and with the 3 rotating over into the solo lane soon enough, Papis will be fighting a complete uphill battle. Inamur rotating in against 3 people trying to save his tower. Might die as a result, but probably won't be able to save his tower at all.
Not able to save his tower as the Guan, Cabrakan, Fenrir are able to pick that up. However, Dalo is able to pick up Jermaine over there on the left-hand side of the map. A good return kill, and almost more important than the kill itself is the morale boost that you're going to get by getting that kill.
Yep, getting a high-profile target like Jing down. She was sitting at 5 and 1. Now allows them to go for a gold trade here, uncontested. Darda is coming in from behind. They do have some vision on it. We're aware that it's going through. But Cabrakan victorious as single target damage. Poppy's able to secure it, but taking a lot of poke damage from through space and time. Tremor's cleaning up.
Ooh. Triple kill goes on to Darda. Through space and time is going to let him close the gap, but ultimately going to let Dalo get away.
Dalo able to escape, the only non-casualty of that Gold Fury play, but very nicely done from Forsaken, making sure that that win isn't too bad. Still securing themselves the 3k gold advantage and 8.5k experience.
3k gold advantage, 3 tower advantage, and Mogao's looking to make it a 4th tower at their advantage. And you know, right now it's looking very good for Forsaken. We do see grouping at the Fire Giant.
18-minute Fire Giant, definitely not unheard of, but certainly risky. Inamur spots it out, but is getting zoned out.
And that is an 18-minute Fire Giant, boys and girls. One of the faster Fire Giants that you're going to see in competitive Smite for sure. Divine Retribution comes out there, shredding protections away from Tens. I don't think Tens was necessarily the target there. It does get the protections away.
It's hard in a team fight to really lock down one specific person, especially when they're all grouped up together. I think the main goal was to try and get them away from Mogara Dardas, but it did force Tins to use the portal to escape, helped limit the total damage they could have gotten out.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, there's 3-man siege going on for the solo lane tower. Jermaine and Fly to Safety just barreling down mid lane, trying to clean that up as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible is right. It does fall right there. We see over here that 3-man grouping able to pick up the Warchi under the tier 2 tower. Through space and time is off the mark just a hair, but putting out a good bit of damage. Inamur forces Tins to fall back, but the tier 2 in the right-hand side is down. Only 1 tower remains on the side of the Papis, and that's over there on the left-hand side.
Yep, minion wave certainly battling it out there. For the meantime, Forsaken looking to take this mid-Phoenix here. All 5 members still alive. Fly to Safety, plucking out David Arnaya's Dart is finishing him off. Inver now half HP, focused down by that Fenrir. Cleaned up by Tins on the Janus with the unstable Vortex. Dalo finished off. And Darda's diving.
Darda's in the fountain.
Diving in the fountain.
That's what we like to see in a game of
Only
Smite.
one alive for his team. Getting bursted down. Huge crits coming out from Jermaine while those protections have been peeled off. Mid Phoenix falls, as it does the solo lane Phoenix. Papis Titan now slowly losing HP to the minion wave. Meanwhile,
Wonderful,
Flight of
wonderful,
Safety
wonderful.
looks to be just cleaning up those minions, being
We're
able
at-
to force out, get
We're
that
at
last
20
tower.
minutes here. And 2 Phoenixes have fallen, a Fire Giant has fallen. All towers are looking to fall before it becomes 21 minutes. Reset onto the minions was a beautifully calculated time. And that's all but 1 Phoenix and the big man himself, the Titan, sitting there. Jermaine dancing around on his Persistent Gust, trying to get that red buff for himself.
Yeah, we've seen comebacks from this type of scenario before. We also haven't seen a surrender vote come out. They're definitely willing to play it out, see what they can get. So morality isn't really a question. It's just a question of how effectively they can defend now. They've got 2 waves of fire minions. And one of the bigger problems here is that you do have fire minions that are going to be pouring in still while that fire giant respawns in just under 2 minutes from now.
Absolutely, and those fire minions can't be underestimated, right? We can't let that be understated.
Meanwhile, Mogao using the cavalry charge, forcing Warchi and Perillo back. Not able to find anything. In the meantime, Dalo caught way out of position.
Dalo was up there
And the
trying
chase
to
is
get a
on.
sneaky back, but wow, I love these chases. I feel like we should have the Benny Hill music just ready to go. Down at the bottom, Guan Yu, Mogao is zoning out the remaining players of Forsaken, of the Papis. Even if they wanted to come out, they couldn't have come out right then.
Mogao just zoning while Dalo's picked off by the rest of the team, now aggressing on that final Phoenix. The last line of defense for the Titan itself. Starda is going very aggressive.
Innimer puts down the
Cage
ring,
coming
able to
out,
cage
but
out
Phoenix
some people.
still within range, so...
Bird Bomb is good to do a little bit of damage. Jermaine, however, better able to pick up the kill onto Innimer. And David Arnez now seems to be the likely target there. Falling lower and lower and lower. 10's credited with that kill. Now we have Dalo, Perillo, and Warchi tasked with trying to save this Titan. This Titan's only got 1,500 HP. It looks like it's going to fall right here, right now, and this might just be game 1 if the throws don't happen. Can they focus? Less than 1,000 health. We're going for kills instead of the win. We're going for kills instead of the win still. Alright guys, let's go ahead and finish this off. 1,500 is the Titan, and that is going to be game 1 goes to Forsaken. Dominating performance from top to bottom. So, this is a best of 3, right?
Yeah, best of 3.
Best of 3, so we could actually see the Papis come back and take 2 games back to back and end up winning the first week of the European Challenger Cup. Exciting stuff. We'll have game 2 very soon. We are bringing you week 1 of the European Challenger Cup. I am a Pip. This has been Merle. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have game 2 going very soon. Thank you for watching. Be right back soon.